Good morning. My name is Francia. Today's class, we're going to be doing some yoga drills and we're going to be using some props. So your handy dandy yoga blocks will really come in useful today. I have like a blanket, but you can use a rolled up towel, something that cushion your knees. If you're on carpet, you probably won't need it. And a yoga strap if you have something along those lines that you might be able to use. If you need it and you're watching this, you can pause the video and go grab your stuff and come back and meet me. So we'll go ahead and come to our comfortable seated position. Relax the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. Create a sense of space from the sits bones all the way up to the top of the head. Close the eyes and let's just take a few moments to arrive onto our mats. Allow the breath to flow in and out through the nostrils with ease. Maybe lengthening the breath or deepening the breath if that feels right for you this morning. Or otherwise, you can just continue to follow the natural rhythm of your breathing. If you wanted to add a little sound to the inhale and the exhale. And we'll draw our palms together at the center of the heart. We'll open the space of our practice with one sound, Om. And exhale, release the hands and open the eyes. We're going to start in our kneeling position. So come to our four-legged position. Find yourself onto your hands and knees. And let's start with a little gentle movement. So moving forward and back, side to side. We're going to start to really feel into the body here. There will be some stuff we'll be doing on our wrists. So we're going to warm up our wrists as well. You can go into circles, making sure you go in both directions. And really just start to feel what's tight, what feels a little open, where you have a little extra movement, maybe some cat and cows as you move forward and back. Really no rhyme or reason for this first warm up here. Just go into whatever shape your body wants to feel go into, or you're feeling your body needs to go into. And maybe stopping and adding a little bit of cow here, side to side as you sway, kind of moving weight to the left, weight to the right. And then exhale, maybe curling into cat and doing the same thing, swaying to the left and right. Really start to observe the shoulders and the hips, the wrists. Start to feel what's going on within those areas of the body. And then slowly release, back to flat back, tucking the toes under. Exhale, press up to your downward facing dog. Let's pedal out the legs. So we're going to start moving kind of right away here because I have a lot of stuff planned for you today. So as we move and pedal out through the heels, bend one knee, sway the hips, maybe move the hips to the left, move the hips to the right, move them to the left, move them to the right, kind of just really rotating through your hips. Start to open up that space. And then maybe back to center. And again, just gentle pedaling out of the legs. Moving the chest towards the thighs. Feel the strength in the arms and shoulders. And then inhale, come forward, back onto hands and knees. We're going to go ahead and reverse the grip of the hands. So fingers pointing forward. Let's start with just the left hand. Fingers pointing towards your knees. And you want to press the back of your wrist down. Keep your elbow straight. The inside of your elbow is pointing forward towards the top of your mat. And there's extension here through the shoulder, so you're not sinking down, nice and lifted, drawing into the belly. And then let's squeeze the fingers and open them back out. Squeeze and open. You can do 5, 10 times if you wish. You can go quickly, you can go slowly. Just start to open out. And then when you're done, you feel pretty good there on that side. Release, shake out that hand. Let it go, really just like the elbow, shake it out, a whole thing. And then plant that hand back down and we'll do the other side. So back of the hand on the floor, Fingers pointing towards your knee. The wrist tries to press down and try to get all 5 fingers down to the mat. Be gentle with this, because if you start to feel like there's, like like a tingling or a cold feeling through your hand, you might be pressing into a nerve that doesn't quite like it. So just be gentle with it, don't force. And then if you feel good, then go ahead and straighten and close the fingers. Squeeze the fingers, release the fingers. Squeeze and release. 5 to 10 times, your choice here, going quick, going slow. Meanwhile, the other hand is kind of pressing into the floor, so your fingers are strong. The inside of your right elbow is pointing forward. And then slowly release. Shake out that hand, shake out the elbow, let it all go. Just flop out that hand nicely. And back to hands and knees. Good. Now tuck the toes under and press the hips back. Let's reach the hands forward, kind of going into a similar, like a child's pose, but your knees are hip width apart and your toes are tucked under instead of released. And you're going to stay on your fingertips as you lean forward. So we're reaching the tailbone back and down, reaching as extending through the chest as you bring the forehead or the top of the head to the floor. Stay here on your fingertips, move the shoulders back, steady breathing. 1, 2, press through the toes so the heels are kind of moving back. 3, if the forehead doesn't quite come to the floor, you can place a block there to bring your forehead to it. Let your head rest. 4, and then 5. Inhale, lift the head first. Slowly roll yourself back up, back to tabletop position. And again, just move through the shoulders here. Tucking the toes under once more, press to your downward facing. And then this time we're gonna go up and down through the toes. So keeping the heels down, strong downward facing dog. So find your downward facing dog first. Now inhale, high up onto the toes, lift the hips up. You start to feel that engagement here. If you need to bend your knees, you can. You can do this with bent knees. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, heels down. Take right hand to left ankle and then bring it back. Left hand to right ankle and then bring it back. And then again, so that's our drill. Up onto the toes, hips up, lower belly in. Keep your weight back, so chest moving towards your thighs. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, right hand to left ankle, just grab. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left hand to right ankle, grab. Exhale, back to center. Good. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, up onto the toes, stay up. Good. Keep moving your chest towards your thighs. Strong shoulders, strong fingers. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, right hand to left ankle. Just hold on to it. Don't need to twist too much. Release. Exhale, left hand to right ankle. Hold on, don't need to twist too much, just open up. Back to center. Good. 2 more. Inhale, up on the toes. Move your chest through. If you're feeling good, maybe walk the toes in just a little bit closer to the hands. See how that feels. Feel it in your shoulders. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, right hand, left ankle. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left hand, right ankle. Exhale, back to center. Last one, we're gonna hold. So inhale, up onto the toes, heels up, legs, try to get them straight if you can. Move your chest towards your thighs. Close the gap between your rib cage and your thighs. Heels off the floor, let your head hang. Gaze towards your upper thighs or knees. Exhale, heels down. Good. Inhale, right hand to left ankle. This time we're gonna hold. So use your twist. Maybe pull your body through a little bit more. Find that nice strength in the left shoulder, left arm. Try to keep your legs square as you press your right heel down and rotate your torso. Good. Exhale, back to center. Then we'll do the other side. Left hand, right ankle. Twist your body through. Strong right arm. Pressing down through your heels. Opening your chest through from underneath your right armpit, looking up. Keeping your hips square, drawing in through lower belly. 1 more breath, inhale. Pull a little bit deeper. Exhale, slowly release back to center. Look forward, bring the knees down to the floor. Release the toes this time, and let's go for a regular balasana. You can have the extended version. with the arms forward, or the relaxed version with the arms by your feet. Steady, easy breathing. Your big toes are touching, but your knees are slightly apart. Relax the shoulders and just let the back round. Let the arms kind of hang either down by the feet or up overhead, your choice. You can even let the elbows rest. Good. Couple more breaths here. And then inhale, lift the head, walk the hands in. Okay, so we're gonna give the shoulders and your hands and wrists a break, and we're gonna move our mat back towards our wall. So you want your mat right up against the wall, and then you're gonna take your blanket, if you need it, and just place it at the edge of the wall with the mat. Let me turn the camera here so you can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so then now you have this extra cushion here. This is going to be for our knees. You can come onto all fours. You're going to walk yourself up. Your feet are going to go up on the wall. Let's start with just the left foot. The left knee as close to the wall as possible, and you want this heel slightly on the outside of that left hip. So here's your choice number one. Staying here with that foot up and kind of maybe pressing through that left hip down, almost like a pigeon pose. You want to kind of move that left hip forward. You can use blocks on either side of your right knee here. So to kind of press up into it, and you want to keep moving that left hip forward. So this is your first choice. Nice and lifted, shoulders back, creating that sense of space. The top of the left foot is touching the wall, and the back of that left knee or the top of the left thigh is on your cushioning here on your blanket. So you can stay there. We're going to be here for a little bit. This is a little bit of a yin posture, but it's going to be very useful in a moment. Or you can try and bring that right foot forward and kind of stand on your right toe. So you might need to kind of adjust a little bit through that left knee. And once your right foot is in front, kind of right underneath your knee, you can take your hands and come to lift it. If that's too much, remember your handy dandy blocks, you can bring your hands to the blocks. So here's a place for you to be, just up and lifted. Now, ideally, as we move into this posture, that left heel is on the outside of the hip, remember? So we want to try and bring the hips back. So again, you can use your blocks, walk them towards you, walk that knee in ever so slightly, and then use that right leg to move your hips back towards the wall. Good. You're going to feel that deep stretch in that left quad. Be gentle. If it's too much, hands on the thigh or even hands on the blocks. Either one is fine. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. If possible, release the shoulders back and maybe even bring the hands up overhead or cactus arms or just anywhere that they're comfortable for you, down hanging. You can play around with it. So deep stretch here. You're going to feel this in the psoas, all the hip flexor muscles. Let's just take a few moments here. Drawing in, moving the hips back. Strong right leg that is planted in front. That's kind of guiding your weight back. So you're going to push a little bit into it. So remember, if this is too much, you go back to that modified pigeon pose where your hips are moving down instead of back and your right knee is on the floor. Let's take a few more breaths here. One of two things usually happen when we hold these types of poses. One is that they start to actually get more comfortable, easier, a little bit more accessible for the body, right? And that's the ideal. Hopefully that's happening for you right now. The second thing that could happen is your mind starts going, oh my God, get me out of this right now. It's too much, I can't handle. So find that kind of balance in between those two. If your mind is freaking out, but your body just feels like, okay, this is tough, but I can hold, and be here for another breath or two before you decide to come out. If your body's screaming out to you, no, I don't like this, something's hurting, or something's pulling in the wrong way, it doesn't feel right, come out right away. You don't have to talk yourself out of that one. But if you find yourself kind of just in that intellectual space of this is not where I want to be, but your body feels okay, then give yourself some moment, some time. Because sometimes we react. So we try not to react. Try to be with the breath. Let's hold 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Looks good, Mindy. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so to come out, if your shoulders are against the wall, press your hands on the wall and just move yourself forward slightly. Bring your hands to your blocks, slide them forward a little bit. And before we come out entirely, let's just take a moment because that was a long hold. Bring your hips forward. Try to kind of walk that right foot forward. Hold on to your blocks. Bring your hips forward. And just be here another breath or 2. You want to come out with ease, otherwise it's going to feel funky. Now keep holding onto the blocks and slide your right foot down. Bring your right knee to the floor. We're going to go back to that pigeon shape. So again, maybe lowering the blocks to the floor, coming to that pigeon shape. That left foot is still up there. If you don't need the blocks, maybe bringing the hands down, maybe bringing the elbows down and bringing the hips down and just stay there for another breath or 2. And then to come out, back onto the hands. Slide that left toe to tuck it onto the wall and slide that knee forward, bring it in, come to seated. Okay, let's observe here for a moment before we do anything else. Observe how does one hip feel compared to the other. Hopefully you should feel a really big difference, but even if you don't, it's okay. Your body's feeling it. Your mind might not be registering it. Okay, so let's go back onto hands and knees. Walk the knees back and let's get set up for the other side. So right knee pulls back. My blanket moved a little bit, so I'm going to push it back. There we go. And then grab your blocks because they are really handy to come in and out of this posture. And let's just start with that kind of modified pigeon shape. So bringing that left knee down, using the blocks. And we start with this lifted pigeon, not on the floor like we do when we come out. So just keep your hands on the blocks or on the floor. And lift with the heart as you move that right hip forward. And let's just stay there for a few breaths. So make sure that the right knee is indeed touching with the wall behind you. Because otherwise, if your knee is too far forward like this, you're kind of, when you come up, you're going to be in an awkward position. So start with that knee pressing back. There. And then if you feel good here, then you're going to kind of wiggle this left leg, and I like to bring the blocks to a higher level to give myself room. Press up and wiggle this left leg forward. We're going to try to stay there for a moment with the hands on the blocks and the left foot forward and kind of just adjusting and seeing how everything feels. Remember, you want that right heel on the outside of your hip. So if you reach back, you should feel that the heel is on the outside so that when you move back, you're not going to press into your heel. And then let's stay there for a couple of breaths, observing the tightness, how it feels different from the other side. And if you feel okay, maybe bringing hands to the knee and lifting up through the chest. Start to think about moving your hips back towards the wall. Even if you're slightly leaning forward, it's okay. Moving your weight back towards that wall. You can also just stay on your blocks and maybe adjust to that left foot and still push those hips back, pressing into that left leg. Only when you feel ready, try to straighten up your whole spine and then try, if possible, to bring your shoulders back. But remember, as you work on this, as you adjust into this, and my blanket keeps moving, there we go. You want to feel like you are moving at your own pace and with your own body. So if the cue is to bring the shoulders back and you're like, oh, I tried that, but oh, that doesn't quite feel good, then come back forward or come into a slightly forward position. So work your way into the depth of it as your body needs. So we're going to be here for a little bit of time, so you have plenty of time to relax those shoulders back. So keep kind of lengthening up, and you're going to feel there's a little bit of a tilt in the pelvis. So you can adjust that by adjusting your left foot or walking your hands maybe down to the block and lifting, feeling your body through. Good morning, Zena. Yes. Good morning. All right. And then as you feel ready, maybe leaning back, and it's okay if the shoulders don't touch. You can kind of be forward a little bit, wherever it feels good. And then your arms can be up, press back against the wall, holding onto your opposite elbows. I just like to let mine hang down. That seems to feel better for me. This side feels a little tighter, so I find myself not being able to rest on the wall like I was on the other side. So if that's you, then take your cues for your own body and try to lift up as high as you can. Calm, steady breathing. That left leg is active because it's pressing your hips back towards the wall. So you're moving that, you're pressing into that left leg, keeping it active. And your body is finding that nice happy extension from that right knee all the way up towards the sky, towards the top of the head. Let's hold a few more breaths here. Again, acknowledging how your body feels today, where your limits lie, how everything is kind of computing into your mind. Is it a physical thing that's stopping you from moving back? Is it mental? Is it emotional? You know, what's happening here? We treat our yoga practice like we would, you know, laboratory to explore the inner workings of the mind. Easy, steady breath. And then we've been here kind of a little bit longer than, you know, before. So if you want to maybe try and bring the shoulders back, see how that feels. Keep hugging that belly in, the rib cage in. Hold 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll slowly grab those blocks, bring them forward, and just take a moment here in the forward position. Allow that left foot to reach a little bit more forward, and then start to bring your hips down, finding that space coming out of the posture just as slowly and just as mindfully as we went in. If you want, you can make the blocks a little bit shorter to give yourself a little bit more push forward. And then we're going to take this left foot, bring it back so that the knee comes down to the floor, and we're back in this kind of lifted pigeon variation, opening through chest, shoulders back. We're going to go down to the lower pigeon here. So maybe without the blocks, hands to the floor, staying there if that feels good, or bringing the elbows down if that's accessible. Maybe even resting for a moment or two, forehead down. Easy, steady breath. And inhale, lift the head, walk the hands back in. You can move the blocks out to the side for now. And then slide your weight forward, bring that knee in. You can kind of keep your mat where it is for the moment, and just take a moment to kind of shake out those hips. Let's extend the legs. So bring your weight forward, left leg back, press to that left leg, press to the left heel, moving the hip down. And we're gonna try some little lifts here. So on your hands, protract the shoulders, keep your left leg straight, and just lift your right knee off the floor. Using that strength into that left hip flexor. So we stretched it a minute ago. Now we're finding strength. So the right knee is up. You're kind of hovering, 2 hands and left foot. Exhale, right knee down. And then inhale, lift that left leg up. Lift the chest up, shoulders back. Extend through the spine. Keep kicking through the left toe. Exhale, release. Bring it down. Good. Let's do the right side. So start with just the easy stretch. Right leg back. Find your stretch. Press the right heel back. Strong fingers. Steady breathing. Just engaging into that right leg to begin with. So you're kind of moving your weight back towards the right heel. And then we're going to try to lift up to the left knee. So make sure that you're forward more so that your hands are underneath your shoulders, and press into that right toe. Lift the left knee up. It's like a plank, but with the left knee forward. Strong right leg. See if you can press that right heel away. Find one long line from your head all the way to your right heel. Steady breath. Don't let the left knee drop. Protract and engage through the shoulders. Good. And exhale, release the left knee, lifting the right leg up, pointing through the toe. See if you can lift the heart, extend through the body. Good. Lift the chest, shoulders back. Steady breathing. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Good. And exhale, release. Curl yourself into cat. Maybe move front to back, side to side. Stay in your cat pose the whole time, even though you're adding movement. Stay in your cat pose. And back to center. Inhale, sway into cow. Staying in your cow pose, but adding a little bit of movement here, side to side or front and back. You choose. Shoulders move down and away. Exhale. Inhale. And slowly release. Okay, so now we're gonna give the legs and the hips a little bit of break. Move back to the shoulders. So if you cannot sit in this kind of hero's pose shape with the feet tucked under, you can use a block or a cushion and place it between your feet so that you're sitting up on top of your block. Okay, I'm gonna stay facing away from you to show the arms. So we're gonna inhale, extend the arms, find length through the arms. Exhale, left arm down and reach it towards your right side waist. So that might be as far as your body will go. Otherwise, left arm up towards the middle of your back. You might need to kind of wiggle it a little bit. And then this right arm, just keep it lengthening to the side. For now, reach the fingertips of the left hand up towards the head. And then inhale, reach the right arm up. So just finding length to that right side. Let's stay here for a few moments. Keep the left fingers pointing up towards the head, not down or out to the side. Everything points up. Easy inhale, slow exhale. Release right arm. Take it around and see if you can find your left elbow. And then kind of wiggle that in a little bit, creating a little deeper stretch. Stay there. 1. Fingertips reaching up towards the head. 2. If you can't find your elbow, that's okay. Maybe you can grab a hold of your forearm. 3, shoulders move away. 4, and 5. Good. Slowly release the left arm, release the right arm, extend both arms. Let's do some big shoulder circle here. Both directions, maybe 3 or 4. And we'll set up for the other side. So now the right arm goes back. Keep the left arm out. Wiggle that right hand up towards the head so that the fingers are pointing up. Stay there. So you're using the strength of your muscles, your right arm, to keep that hand in place. You're not holding it with anything. That comes in a moment. For now, you're just using the strength of your right arm. Inhale, lift the left arm up and find length to that left side body. That right arm stays put, hasn't changed. Gaze is forward, reach to the fingertips, draw in through lower navel, lengthen through spine, steady breathing. Good, 1 more breath. And then exhale, let's release that left arm around. See if you can reach around, find your right elbow. And once you have the elbow, then it's just a little bit of a help. Guide that elbow back as the right hand kind of centers itself the best you can. It's okay if it doesn't, just the best you can. Reach the right fingertips up. Pull on that right elbow with the left hand and lengthen through spine. Steady breathing. One more inhale. And exhale, release the left arm, release the right arm, lengthen away from you, reach, 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 reach. Let's move the wrists, open and close, rotate through the wrists. Kind of move them however that feels good. And then let's go back to those big circles, 3 or 4 one direction, and then 3 or 4 the other direction. Okay, now we're gonna grab our strap. Hold your strap in your right hand. Extend it out, so you wanna have a little bit of a loop hanging off your strap. Extend it out, and then take that left arm, bring it all the way back. So maybe now you have a little bit more room, the arm feels a little bit more open. Right arm up towards the sky, bend the right elbow and grab a hold of your strap. So you should be able to connect here, holding onto the strap. If you find that this is easy and maybe there's room, walk your hands down the strap, or even try to find your fingers and extend out. You can just let the strap hang, or you can let it fall if you no longer need it. And maybe if you connect the 4 fingers, see if you can connect more with the thumbs or more with more fingers, whatever feels good here. Draw in through lower belly and lengthen up through chest. Try to keep the head lifted. So one thing you want to try to avoid is tucking under like this. Keep everything up as you lengthen through that right elbow, gaze forward. Kind of that right forearm is pressing against the back, right side of your head. And maybe walk your hands down the strap a little bit more if that's accessible. Let's do one more inhale. Short, steady exhale. And then let's release the fingers. You can release the right arm first, release it down, release the left arm, and let's take it up towards the sky for a little counter stretch. Let's wiggle around through those left fingers, left wrist, and then release it all the way down. Good, now we're gonna do the other side. So taking that the strap now in your left hand, right arm comes around. Try to find the center line here. Wiggle your hand through. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, release to the left elbow. Grab your strap. Create connection. Most important thing here is connection, whether it's with the strap or the fingers. If you feel good, and you can see the possibility of grabbing the tips of your fingers, do that. Lift up the rib cage, lift the chin, and steady breathing. Allow that right shoulder to move down away from the ear. It's going to do it naturally, so don't fight with that natural movement of the shoulder moving out, down and away. Let the right elbow point down towards the floor as the left elbow points up towards the sky. Keep the chin up. Remember, no rounding or hunching through your back. Steady, easy breathing. If you can, walk your hands down the strap a little bit more, or become closer into your grip if you're holding onto your fingers. Otherwise, just be here, steady, calm, peaceful. Observing the tightness, where it lives, how it represents itself, and how you perceive it. What is your perception of the difficulty of this asana? And then we're going to release the fingers or the strap. Lift the left arm first, extended. Exhale, release it down. Right arm releases out, all the way up for a counter stretch. And let's just wiggle that hand, the wrist, fingers, all directions. And gently release. Okay, good job. Now we're going to come off our block. And we'll come to seated. Okay, so we're putting all of this together. It will make sense for you in the end. Let's go ahead and grab your 2 blocks. I know this is similar to the one we did last week. You're gonna place them by the right side, and you're gonna take your legs into a straddle. So I'm gonna kind of
move off my mat a little bit here just so that I'm facing you since I moved my camera. So your 2 blocks are going to be closer to your right foot. Point and engage into the legs. Now, make sure the blocks aren't too close to each other or too close to your leg. If you think that this is going to be really tough, you can start at the lower level. Otherwise, you can start at the higher level if you wish. I'm going to keep it somewhere in the middle here. So fingertips behind you, lift your chest. We're going to take that right leg, lift up in the center and all the way over. Center and all the way over. So if this is too much and you feel like, ooh, I don't know, then you can just do 1 block and just up and over on 1 block, just like we did last week. Otherwise, try for your 2 blocks if you have 2. If you got 3, try for 3. If you got 4, try for 4. Fingertips stay down, so that's going to help keep your spine nice and long. And there's a little bit of an outward rotation of that right leg. So the toes are kind of pointing out and to the right. Let's do 1 more. Make sure you're gentle, softly landing, and release. Good. Before we do the other side, just fold forward. Maybe hold on to your feet. And since the block is right there, why not bring the forehead to the block? I like to flex my feet in the forward fold. It just gives me elongation in the backs of my legs, and it's a nice release from the pointing from before. You can try that. Inhale, head up, and then let's move the blocks to the left. Not too close to your foot, not too close to each other. Remember, you want to have room to come across. So pointing the toes, fingertips on the floor, lift the chest, engage into that right leg. Inhale, lift and lower. Kind of just coming up and over. Remember, there's that slight outward rotation of that left hip. So the leg kind of turns slightly out to the left. Good. Oh, very nice. Yay. That looks really good. All right. Keep breathing, keep lifting through chest. If you find yourself really struggling with this, you can lean back. So it's okay to lean back. Just keep the movement of the leg continuous. Let's do another one after this one. Go all the way in, and then when you make it all the way out, stop there, flex the feet, release 1 block down, and fold forward. Maybe this time you can bring your chin to the block instead of your forehead. Extending your chest forward, pulling your shoulders back. Steady, easy breathing. One more breath. And inhale, lift up and release that. Okay. So let's move the blocks over to the side. We're going to do a little bit more dynamic hip movement. So come into that 90-90 shape. We've done this before where we bring the left knee forward, the right knee is to the side. And we're going to start with the direction that the body naturally wants to go to, which is over the right leg. So the right leg is in front of you, the foot is flexed, left hand is behind you, that foot is also flexed. And we're just going to fold forward here, kind of bringing that left hip down, and you can bring your hands to the floor or place your blocks and bring your hands to your blocks. So either way is fine. Just opening through that left side, drawing in through belly, finding length here in your spine as you keep your hips down. Lengthening through the top of your head. Remember, if this is easy, don't stay with the blocks. If it's easy, bring your elbows down. You never want to feel like you can just hang out here and chill for an hour. You want to feel like this is a little bit of work, but I can maintain. That's where you want to find that happy medium. Let's do 3 more breaths. Good. And then slowly lift up. Place your hands on either sides of that right foot, and we're just going to press up through that right knee. So press up through that right knee, come into that kind of lifted position here, and then exhale, lower it back down. All right, take your blocks, switch. So just rotate your legs to the other side. Set yourself up steady. And once you're ready, lower down onto that side. So if you feel like this leg kind of hugs into your body, Really important to open it out so you can feel the rotation in the hip. But you know, sometimes these can be really difficult and really different on one side versus the other. So you might want to take some time to really kind of adjust yourself and get yourself situated correctly before you come down to the blocks or to the floor. This side with the blocks is a struggle for me. So I'm going to stay here with the blocks on this side. But if you find it easy, accessible, don't stay where it's easy and accessible. Get down so you feel a little bit of challenge. You can always use the blocks and come back to the blocks. Let's stay here for a few more breaths. Good. Two more. Try without the blocks just before we come out. You can try too. Oh, see? This is what I'm talking about. I should take my own advice. So normally I wouldn't be able to bring my elbows to the block. I thought, okay, it's feeling like it's a little bit more easy for me at that point. Let's try bringing the elbows down, and the elbows came down. So you always want to attempt because you never really know. Try to lengthen through your spine, reach to the top of your head, and fold forward over that left leg. Keep the feet flexed and engaged. And then slowly inhale, let's press back up. Press your hands down, either on the blocks or on the floor. And then slowly, or you're on either side of that left foot, lift up. Find it, lift in the hips, so you're just moving the hips forward and coming back down. Good. So now we're going to add movement and rotation. With your feet wide apart, hands up, we're just going to go one side, center, other side, center. So it's, you start to kind of scoot forward as you do this. So you might end up all the way up by the camera. I'm already off my mat almost. So if you want to kind of scoot yourself back, let's do 3 more. 3. 2. Good. Keep those arms up using your core and your legs. Good, that looks good. And when you're back onto the right side, just stay there for a moment, release the hands. Take a moment to adjust yourself. Line your right shin up with your right, the top of your mat, and then bring your right hand down, extend your left leg as far as it'll go. So it's similar to pigeon, but not quite. Notice we're like hugging all these poses around pigeon. And so this left hip is going to be lifted, and maybe there's a bend in the left knee. Take your left elbow down, and then inhale, up, open the chest, exhale, elbow down. Inhale, up, open the chest, exhale, elbow down. Again, inhale, up, the right arm is on the floor, you're resting on your right elbow, down. Inhale, up, exhale, down. Inhale, open, exhale, down. Let's hold the down. Hold the down, move into that left hip flexor. Inhale up, hold the up, press into your right shoulder. Don't sink, but move away. Reach, extend through the left fingertips, and then take that left arm all the way back. See if you can bring it around towards your right thigh. A little bit of a rotation in the torso. And then exhale, coming back through the center. Low, bring that left knee in. And then let's pivot, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So now the left shin lines up with the now front of your mat. And then we're going to extend that right leg back. Remember, a little softness in the knee is totally fine. And we're not going into pigeon where we're on the front of the leg. You want to stay on that inside of your leg. And then bringing your left elbow down, finding your balance here. Notice on this side, my right elbow doesn't come all the way to the floor. So if you'd like, you can use a block to bring your right elbow to, or you can just reach towards it. It might come down as we move. So inhale, right arm up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, up. Exhale. exhale down. Oh, it's almost touching now. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one. Inhale up, exhale down, and let's hold. Hold it down. See if you can press back with that right toe. Draw in through lower navel and try to square off your shoulders. Try to bring that right elbow right down to the floor on the outside or on the top of your left shin. And then inhale up and hold. Open the chest. Strong left shoulder again. You're not sinking. Lifting away. Steady, easy breathing. Reaching to the right fingertips. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, slowly release. Press yourself, oh, don't come up just yet. Bring your right hand back. Take your right hand all the way around. Find your twist. Can't forget a twist. Keeping that left leg nice and supported there so it's on the floor. It's not moving or budging. That right leg is still extending. And then exhale, release. Now we come up and take your time to bring your knees in towards each other. Give yourself a nice rounded hug, forehead to the knees. Relax the shoulders, steady breathing. Okay, so now we're gonna try to put all of that together. Grab your extra cushion that we used before for our knee and place it somewhere in the center of your mat. You're gonna bring your knees onto it. I always like to use extra cushion for the knees just because even if you don't need it, it's just a nice thing to do for your knees. So let's start with the right foot forward. Notice this is very similar to what we were doing on the wall, right? If we had our leg up on the wall. And if you feel that this will still not be accessible for you, you can grab your strap and make a little loop at the end of your strap. So this way, when you come up, you can thread your strap around your foot and then kind of hold on to it with the left hand. So find balance here, lift that left leg and bring that foot back. So notice we're putting in the hip mobility and the shoulder mobility together. So you can use the strap, kind of move there, and then maybe bring your left, walk your hands down the strap. So go to as far as your body will allow, and then take your right hand to your left elbow and move back into your stretch. So hopefully one day that left hand and the left foot will come into contact with each other. Lift the heart, lift the chest, keep moving the hips forward, stay grounded in your right foot. Good, looks good. Find your sense of balance, steady breathing. 1, keep walking the hands down that strap. 2, 3, open the chest, move your right elbow back. 4, and 5. Exhale, start to loosen the grip on the strap. Release the right hand, release the left hand, release the left foot. You can move the strap off the foot. And then just come into a forward lunge, kind of releasing into that back leg. And then exhale, extend it back, releasing into the front leg. Let's do that one more time. Inhale forward, releasing into that back leg, the front left hip flexor. Exhale back. And then this time, let's see if we can fold over that right leg. Let the back round, just tuck your chin in, bring your forehead to your knee. And slowly coming back to center, taking the right foot back. Before we do the other side, let's go ahead and tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. You can keep your cushioning for your knees right where it is. It's not gonna get in our way. Just sway side to side, observe the two sides of your body, how they feel. And then we're gonna come forward to a high plank. Find your high plank position here. Hold as you engage. This is good for releasing the fronts of the hips, believe it or not, but we're also doing the core. So let's go for some shoulder taps. Right elbow, left shoulder, bring it down. Left elbow, right shoulder. Right elbow, left shoulder. Left elbow, right shoulder. You don't have to go this quick. You can go a lot slower if you like. But, just decide how you want to go. Try to move your body as little as you can from side to side, but it is going to move just because it's a hard thing to do. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, last one, 1. Good. And release. Knees come down. Sit back for a quick balasana, lengthen spine. And inhale, come back up. Okay, so let's set up for the other side. Grab your strap with your little loop, place it around your right foot. Left foot comes forward. Finding yourself here situated. Come up. Hold the strap with your right hand. And with your sense of balance, lift that right elbow up. And press up through that right toe. Walk the hands down the strap as far as they will go. Find your balance. Chin up, steady breathing. And then when you're ready, left hand to the right elbow. Open the chest. Stay there and breathe. 1. Calm breathing. Hips forward and down. 2. Open the chest. And keep walking those right fingers towards the right foot. 3, 4. Left elbow back, opening through the chest. Rib cage and heart wide open. And 5. Exhale, slide the right hand down, away from the foot. Bring the right foot down. And then just slowly, let's go forward first. Bringing that weight forward. Fingertips can stay on the floor. And then bringing it back. Extending through that left leg. Point the toes. Again, forward. Hips forward and down. Back. And then this time, if it feels okay and accessible, exhale, fold. Try to bring your chin or your forehead to your left knee. Move out of the shoulders, or keep moving the shoulders down and away. Left toes pointing towards floor, and try to square off your hips. And slowly lift the head, coming to center. We can release that left foot back, release the strap off the foot. And once more, balasana. This time, take your knees super wide. Sit your hips down. Length here. Oh, this feels really good with that cushioning underneath the shins. And then take your forehead to the floor. You can make this active still by pressing into your fingertips, kind of like a down puppy. Or you can make it super restorative by releasing your hands down by your feet. If the forehead doesn't come to the floor, remember you can always use a block. You get to choose here. Palms down, elbows down. Fingers pressing into floor, elbows lift, arms engaged. Or hands down by your feet, shoulders relaxed. Back is rounded. Belly just hanging. And then inhale, press your hands into the floor, lift your head up. Coming back to seated. All right, we're gonna do a twist before we go to our balasana. So come to a seated position. If you want, you can use your blanket to sit on, just on the very edge. Take your left knee to face right in front of you and your right foot on top of that thigh, close to the left knee. So your right foot is planted. Left arm wraps around the right leg. You can go to the outside of that leg or just grab the shin. Either way is fine. Left hand comes to the right hip, right hand behind, rotate your torso, look over right shoulder. If this feels like you can go a little bit deeper and you feel like you want the stretch more into your hips, you can release that right foot back and stack your 2 knees, still moving into your twist. So there's an option for you to intensify, an invitation that is always up to you, whether you accept it or not. And then exhale, wherever you are, take your gaze back to center, release your hand, release your right foot back, and come back onto this seated balasana position before we do the other side. So now the right knee points forward, the left foot out on top and close, so the toes are kind of a little bit past your left knee. You don't want this too close to your body or too far away from your body. You want to use it as leverage to hold you there. And then you can wrap that right arm around or take it on the outside of the knee. Release your right hand towards your left hip, the left hand behind you, lengthen through spine, and then look back over left shoulder. Rotating through torso. The left foot is grounded and the left knee is trying to go point up towards the ceiling. Find your twist, find your rotation. And then again, if you like, the invitation would be to release that left foot and stack the two knees, one on top of the other. Still that right arm is on the outside, and we're still moving into our twist. Easy, steady breath. Looking over that left shoulder, separating the space between the front of your right shoulder and the front of your left shoulder. So lengthen the spine, rotate and twist, try not to lean back. And then exhale, slowly release. Coming back to center, release the legs. Find yourself back into that seated balasana. Give yourself a hug, round out the spine, forehead to the knees. And exhale, come back up. Good. Get ready to come into your shavasana. You can move all your toys out the way and lay all the way back onto your shavasana. Legs extend. Arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Deep inhale, slow exhale. Slowly and gently. Let's simply begin by drawing awareness back to the body. Before adding any movement or making any changes, just bring your awareness back. This space, this time, this place, this body. Now let's add a little bit of movement to the fingers and toes. Continue the movement to the hands and feet, to the arms, the legs, bending to the elbows, bending through the knees, and let's come to a constructive resting pose by separating your feet, bringing your knees together, one hand at your belly, one hand at your heart, flatten out your back here for a moment. Deep breath in. Slow breath out.
Slowly as we exhale, let's bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself one more nice hug here. Maybe roll around side to side. And then roll over onto your side. Bring your head down towards the floor or mat. Stay there for a breath or two. Inhale, rise up, coming back to your seated posture. Take a moment to settle in, back to seated. Relax your shoulders. Let's take a deep breath in and let's exhale out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Drawing the palms together at the center of the heart, symbolizing that union of body, mind, and spirit. Observe how the body feels. There's a lot of work we did today. Feeling grateful for the strength and flexibilities that our bodies afford us. And we'll seal all the benefits of our practice with one sound, Om. Namaste.